Ladies and gentlemen, it's go time and show time. Welcome to the Joe Show. I'm your host, Joseph Decker. Man, we just came at you with a great show last week with Xander Carter, Liberty commit, but today we got one of his close friends, EJ Walker, South Carolina commit, Lloyd Memorial star, going into his senior season, last season. So a lot of hype up there for EJ. He's a great player, great guy to talk to behind the scenes. Had a lot of people come in telling me that he's a very humorous guy. So this should be a fun show for us today. I want to thank everyone for tuning in already. We got people coming on. A lot of people typically come in straight through Twitter and watch through Twitter, but remember, you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube as well. Always have to go to Facebook and make it where you guys can watch. I've never really understood the little way you work this. It says only me, so let me make the show public for everybody watching on Facebook, so everyone can tune in. Which means we'll be having Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube all rolling here at once. And there we go. It's back. It's up. Let's get it. So we have a show today with EJ Walker, committed to South Carolina. We'll talk about all things South Carolina with him today. We'll talk about Lloyd Memorial. We'll talk about teammates, AAU basketball, Midwest. We got an array of questions for you all today. Shout out to Coach Mike Walker, EJ's dad, behind the scenes for helping us get some questions ready, kind of help us plan this out. Text him behind the scenes. He was really clutch in getting this to happen. But we're already a minute in, so let's go ahead and talk about our amazing sponsors. We added a new sponsor yesterday. That was Stacy Raymer with Stacy's on Main, based in Edmonson County, Kentucky. I will welcome EJ on here in about a minute. I want to say once again, thanks for everyone who's coming in and joining the show here early. Leave comments and notes and questions you have below on our social media so we can ask him questions you guys have. But we have an array of questions. We have a great guest on today, and we're going to welcome EJ on right now. EJ, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for coming on, man. I know it's a Saturday. I know before this you were doing some practicing work, busy. So appreciate you for coming on. It's a weird time of day. We usually don't do shows this early, but I like it. I like to feel awake a little more. But tell us how you've been, man. What have you been up to? What's some of the things going up down there at Lloyd? And we'll talk about South Carolina here in a second. But tell us how you've been recently.
Really just I do online school instead of going into school, so I really just get my work done,
Hmm.
and then I usually just work out, and then we've been having workouts as a team, and we're just trying to get better every day. So
Well,
that's what we're doing.
the virtual school is where it's at. I do that as well, man. It's
Yeah,
the spot, man. Why get it done in an hour instead of seven? I'll do it every
yeah.
day. But
I
like I
actually
said,
I finished three classes already, so I don't
really
have to. Yeah.
cool. That's a different type of work ethic, man. I still catch myself behind sometimes. But EJ, let's talk about this. Let's kind of get into questions right away. One thing I want to ask about is the come up of EJ Walker. His early life. I want to hear your story. Tell us about the early parts of your career. You talked about earlier, in elementary school playing AAU basketball with a guy like a Trey Singleton. But tell us about the middle school days, the elementary school days, and at the end, I want you to tell us, when did you really start taking basketball serious and know you wanted to pursue this?
Yeah. I think I started playing in like first or second grade, and then I just played with like my friends that like I went to school with and stuff, and like a little AAU team. And then I think like fourth or fifth grade is when like I started playing on like a traveling team, and like it was the Royals like in Cincinnati. And yeah, I mean we played there. We were pretty good. We went to like the Nationals in Florida and stuff. So like that was fun. And then I think sixth grade I was still playing with the Royals, I think. And then that was my last year I played middle school for like the school season. And
Mhm.
then my seventh grade year I played freshman for Lloyd, and that's when like I started taking it a little bit more serious. But
Yeah.
like I didn't think that I'd be where I am now. But I think eighth grade when because I played 15U
Mhm.
in eighth grade with Wildcat Select, and I think I got my first offer that summer, and I
Yeah.
think that's when I noticed like I could do something with this, and then I think that's when I started taking it way more serious. And yeah,
You said you didn't really, expect it to blow up and you turn into the player you are today, but it did. So that kind of leads us into this next question. How do you deal with the spotlight of being, a top player in your state, a top highest rated recruit, in the country, having these coaches with you, talking to you all the time, texting you, watching your games, how have you been able to deal with the spotlight and stay on top of your game and not, fall under pressure or can't handle the, get anxiety?
um, I think really just staying humble and like not letting it get to me, and like
Yeah.
not thinking I'm better than anybody else just because I have this, because it's just a blessing to have this. And really I don't I like criticism and stuff that doesn't really affect me really, because like people are gonna have their opinions and stuff, so that's not really doesn't bother me. And then I try I just try to play as hard as I can when I play, so I don't really like big games. I like big games way more than like playing against a team we would blow out, because I don't know, it just makes me feel like I play better. And yeah, I just like I just like to have I mean
I,
like to compete and do all that. Yeah.
I think a lot of players really prefer when all the lights are on, and it's hard. Sometimes it's hard and to to compete at that level. When you have everybody watching, but you really see who the true stars are whenever they perform. In those moments. Let's talk Lloyd Memorial basketball here for a minute. Last season things didn't really go necessarily how you wanted to. You went out in region to Newport, who would go on to make state. But going into this season, fresh minded, positive minded. What's the confidence level you guys are holding right now? Can you all make it in region, maybe win region this year? How confident are you guys? You kind of take it one day at a time, but are you confident you guys can punch that ticket to Rupp and play at the state tournament this year?
I think we're very confident. Um, we got a lot of people. We got the same team basically from last year, and I feel like we all been working hard this whole summer, and a lot of people are getting better. And I just think it's bringing our confidence up. And I think the reason we're working so hard is because we want to win,
Mhm.
and like we're tired of losing in regions, and we just want to do something for Lloyd and do something crazy. Yeah.
It's your senior season, man. A lot on the line here, man. You got to show out for them in the region. It's lost a few players, but it's also gained some guys. So it'll still be a very competitive region. But we talked about the team, but we haven't talked about the coach yet. I think it's time to talk about your dad, Coach Michael. Man, tell us about playing under your dad, and kind of tell us the atmosphere with him. Is he an aggressive, loud coach? In the gym, or is he more?
Yeah.
So tell us all about Coach Michael in the gym, and being able to play for your dad.
Well, in the gym, he's not one of the coaches that just like will just be quiet and like let the guys do whatever they want. He's more like we get if we get started and like stay locked in. Like he don't like when we joke around, but we are a pretty goofy team. But um, you know, I think because he coached college for like 10 years, and I just think he brings some of that to our practices, even though we're in high school. because he just wants to prepare us to be college athletes and just prepare us for the next level. So I think he holds us to a high standard, and he just expects a lot out of us, and that's why he's so aggressive. And it might seem mean to other people, but in practice we joke around, and we have a good time unless we get kicked out of practice. But yeah, so I mean, it's cool for me.
Mhm. Well, you talk about kind of his aggressive nature in practice, sometimes being louder, but being a coach's son's got to be hard, man. Is he harder than you? Is he harder on you than a lot of the other guys out there on the floor?
Yeah, it definitely is. But I mean, sometimes I don't like it because I don't. Sometimes I just don't agree with him, and sometimes we argue. But we don't ever bring it home to our house. We always leave it at the gym,
Mhm.
and I just think he's hard on me because he knows the potential I have to be great, and he just wants what's best for me. So I I sometimes it might not seem like I like it or that I'm happy with it, but I am really.
You spoke a lot about the recent seasons. There hasn't been a lot of success. Past region. You guys haven't been making it past. But this is the senior season. This is where you kind of leave your mark. This is the last go around. Have you set any personal goals for yourself for this upcoming season and things you'd like to achieve before it's over?
Um, I definitely I definitely want to win region. Like that's the start and go to state because I don't know the last team that went, and I want to be our past. We broke like the record for like the best record. It was 22
Mhm.
and 8. And I want to break that too, but
Yeah.
I just want to win. That's my biggest goal. But like personal goals, uh, I just want to be more aggressive throughout the whole game against every team, and just like dominate more like I should,
Mhm.
and just hopefully become all-time leading scorer. That would be that would be pretty cool for Lloyd.
Well, that's
And
one we got to touch on. I'll let the people know who might not know. Talking about the personal scoring record, you're 232 points away. And, the record is over 1,500 points. You stay healthy this season. It's almost a lock. How much would it mean to you to win that personal scoring record? Have your name at the top of history books for Lloyd Memorial.
it would mean a lot because I mean I could have went to some prep schools and like I could have went other places, but I really wanted to stay for like I just wanted to stay at Lloyd and like leave a mark
Mhm.
and like just leave something at Lloyd, and so other people can do it in the future, and people will want to come to Lloyd and just keep it going.
Mhm. Keep a tradition going.
Yeah.
Even losing a guy like you. Now, we talked to Xander, who also, had the overtime elite options, prep schools calling his phone, but we've also had some guys in the state, leave the high school and go that route. What was it for you that made you stay put at Lloyd Memorial and not go to a prep school or an overtime elite, something like that?
Um, Really, because I feel first thing is I feel like I'm in a good situation. Like I have coaches and teammates that care a lot about me, and like they know that like I need to be pushed to a higher standard, and like so they're gonna keep pushing me. And really, I had I got all my offers and all that stuff through AAU and like at Lloyd already, so I didn't feel the need to go to prep school to try to prove anything to anybody because I did it all at Lloyd, so why would I not finish it?
I feel like that's a big thing. These prep schools and things pursuing already committed guys. It does make a lot of sense to me because these guys have already found their home. They've had their success in AU, found where they want to play at the next level. Kind of like Xander with Liberty, you with South Carolina. So let's talk some South Carolina. You had an amazing list of offers. SEC schools, Big 12s, Big 10s. What ultimately made you choose South Carolina over the other schools? Especially schools that made your Final Four or five, like a Wisconsin or an Ohio State. What made you choose South Carolina?
Uh, Really, what made me choose South Carolina was probably just coaches. Like when we went on my visit, I went on my official visit in like Easter weekend, I think, and really, it was just they all. It's not like some schools. It was like one coach talks to you the most and stuff like that. But when like South Carolina, it's like all the coaches. They
Yeah.
all want. They all want you there. It's not just one coach. And their I think their playing style is like it kind of fits me a lot because like they don't really do like they don't have like positions. They like let anybody
Yeah.
any like 1 through 4 bring it up if they get the rebound and like they screen everybody screens for each other and uh yeah I mean and it just felt good while I was there so like
Well, when a school feels like home, everyone's supporting you. They run your style of offense. That's something I've kind of noticed through you. They have you listed as a forward, but realistically, you can play 1 through 5, and you go to a place with positionless basketball. I mean, that'll be so great. You've not played under him yet, really, or had practices with him. But speak on Coach Paris. He solidified himself as a really good coach. Had a lot of success in the SEC last year. Respected. What are you most excited for to play under Coach Paris?
I mean he's just a great coach. He got coaches almost all the coach of the year awards last year
Yeah.
for the season and he's just he is a good coach, but he's also like a good person too. Like when we talk to him and stuff, like he's always smiling and laughing. And then I just think the biggest thing is he takes defense real seriously
Mm.
because like it doesn't really matter what you do on offense as long as you're taking like good shots and stuff. But on defense, he just as long as you don't let your dude score and like you just follow the rules on defense, you'll be good. And I feel like I can do that the best. So
When I was going through your social medias, watching some of your highlights, your mixtapes, things like that, a big thing I seen was that a lot of them was at the Smith League, which is
yeah,
in Cincinnati. Some of us, I'm personally not familiar with it. I've seen some other guys playing in it, but like I said, I don't really know much about it. I think I've seen some guys with beards. It looked like there were some 30-year-olds playing. So tell us about the Smith League a little bit, being in Cincinnati and, kind of what it is and why you played in that.
Smith League. It's run by a dude. His name's Peyton Smith,
Mhm.
and he's a guy from Cincinnati, and it's uh it's free to get in and stuff. So it's not like a take your money type of thing. It's like
Mhm.
it's really just giving back to the community and like it's really good. It's good vibes there, and really just it's just like a pro am type thing. It's like there's college guys, there's overseas players. It because it got approved by the NCAA and the NBA. I'm pretty sure. So like Darius Baisley played in it. Some UC guys like Rayvon and Tyler. Uh, yeah, it's just good competition. Uh, it's a good show for the fans. I
Mhm.
would hope, and it's just fun to play in. And, yeah.
I want to highlight on this. We were looking at it a little bit. If you guys win district this year, it'll be 3 straight. We've talked about region success hasn't been where you guys won it, but dominating the district has been really impressive. You guys have won it back-to-back seasons, led by you for the first time ever. So that's another little history mark for you at Lloyd. If you guys win district this year, it'll be 3 in a row. Tell me a little bit about the district and some of the teams that share it with you, and you think it's a clear-cut win this year for you all.
Yeah, I think it's a clear cut win because I mean we're working hard and I think we're one of the best teams in the region or the state. Like I feel like we're one of the best teams. But I mean our district, some people wouldn't think it's that tough because like we have Ludlow Villa and then St. Henry and Dixie are good usually. But I feel like it's always a good game just because of the rivalries and stuff. So I mean I think we're gonna win it easy, but we're gonna we're not gonna take anybody lightly though. We're gonna try to do our thing.
Well, I've seen through, going to state and watching Newport, watching their things, up in the northern part of Kentucky, the fans are crazy, man. They get into it, they're loud. And, with you being a ranked player, an SEC player, those rivalry games, man, tell me some of the things, how many times have you ever been overrated chanted, in a game or had that come at you?
I mean, it's not a lot because usually when it happens, it doesn't end well for them because I don't know. It's just like when somebody starts talking trash to me, that's
Mhm.
when I start playing better. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. I just start hitting more shots and stuff. So, I mean, it happened like it probably when we go to like away games, like we played in Ohio one time and like Lexington, there was a couple because I guess they never watched me play. So,
Mhm.
but usually there's not too many overrated unless yeah, it was probably like 4 or 5 in the
Yeah.
region, but it didn't end well probably for them. I don't think.
So tell me a little bit about the Lloyd community. It's kind of on the outskirts of Cincinnati. I believe the town's called Erlanger. Tell me
Yeah.
about the community and the fan base you guys have up there. How big is the fan support for you and the team?
Um. We got our school is only like probably like 600 or 800 people, so like we got a small community, but I feel like we get a lot more fans than we used to,
Yeah.
and like they just all I think they all just love to come to the games and just watch our team and like most of the people I feel like most of our team like we talk to most of the fans and stuff like and like we build like relationships with the fans and stuff to like want them to come watch us and like want them to like us. So I feel like as a team we do a good job at that to like just connect with the fans and just yeah.
You talked about it a little bit. We talked about the SEC. We talked about South Carolina. But man, how excited are you to play in that environment? I mean, the SEC
Uh,
is just on another level, and you'll be playing against Kentucky, which I'm sure will have some sentimental value to it. Playing those guys, playing a Florida, playing you even talk about a rivalry game like a South Carolina Clemson. How excited are you to play in this atmosphere and being in the SEC?
no, I'm excited because I mean, like I said, if the more intense it is, I feel like I play better and stuff. So I just feel like it's gonna be fun for me, and it probably will get hard at some point, but nothing's really easy ever. So
Mhm.
it's just it's gonna be a good experience, and it should be fun.
Well, it's time for the LTCB question. Let's get into this one about Xander. Xander was on our show last week. He talked real highly of you. You guys been able to share the floor together and build a relationship. Talk to me about the relationship with Xander, man, and kind of getting to watch him grow into the player he is and commit to Liberty, and he'll be playing at the next level as well.
Yeah. Well, when I played up for Wildcats,
Mm.
he was on that team too. So like we were teammates back then, which we weren't really that close then because I just joined the team and I wasn't like around them as much. But um, yeah, so we knew each other. But then I came to Midwest and he was there,
Mm.
and I just feel like we're just our personalities just fit together, and we always just we always try to have a good time. And I don't know, I just feel like we both want each other to get better, and we always push each other. And if it was the practices or anything, and I don't know, we just ended up being roommates for the AAU season and road trip partners. So that was fun.
How is the AAU experience? Because Midwest, I'll go ahead and say this spill. I do it every time. 3SSB is my personal favorite program. I think it's the best out there. But tell us about playing AAU with Midwest, some of the success you all seen, where you all played at, and Midwest has offered kind of went after some of the top guys in Kentucky. Say to some of the people watching, why should they choose Midwest and play there?
Um, I think it's probably the best program to play with because it's just like real it's just like real basketball
Mm.
and like some people they just get the rebound, throw it up the court, but like I feel like they get players and coaches who like I wouldn't say like not selfish, but like less selfish players and like that want to pass the ball around and like get good shots. And I feel like they do a good job of getting players like that who just want. I feel like they just want to win
Yeah.
because you got to play with each other. You got to play together to win. So
Well, it's an extremely positive environment. You get to punch your name on there. As one of the top recruits to ever play for them. They've had the likes of a Reed Shepard, now an EJ Carter, names like that. So that's really big to talk about. Your dad wanted me to ask you this, and I want to talk about this. We mentioned the team, but let's mention some of the teammates. Shout out some of your guys at Lloyd, and talk about your friendships with them.
Lloyd, I mean, I feel like our whole team. I feel like that's the big thing about our team is like our whole team's close,
Mm-hmm.
and like I got Ant. He's over there, and like he stays with me. So, Ant, Jay, E. We got Billy, Carter, Zay. We got three Zays.
Mm-hmm.
We got Duncan. We got Ty. We got all of them. I feel like we're all just a family, and we all like being around each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we try. We don't ever. We're a goofy team, kind of. We don't like joke around, but like the way we get ready for stuff, it might look goofy, but like we're being serious.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the guys, man.
Let's talk about
It's the
Ant a little
guys.
bit. Let's talk.
Ant,
Let's talk about Anthony a little bit. Being his teammate. We recently took that Miami, Ohio unofficial. I seen. He's really getting his name out there more and more. I seen what he did with Griffin Elite. Being his teammate, man. You know him better than anybody. Does he deserve this level of respect and being a D1 basketball player?
Oh, for sure. I mean, and we just push each other in practice all the time, and he definitely deserves everything that's coming his way. And he just works for it, so deserves it.
Ant's been, highly getting recruited, like we say, having coaches in some of the top mid majors. Tell me this, EJ. I like to have people talk about their duo, kind of the 1-2 punch. Are you guys one of the top, if not the best duos in the state? And can we claim you all as that going into the season?
No, me and Ant are going to be a tough duo this year. It's going to be something crazy. Everybody, if I'm being honest, last year, he didn't have it in him last year to do it this year. I see it this year.
There's something different this year.
I see it this year, and I just feel like we both want it bad this year, and we're going to lead this team, and we're going to do something that hasn't been done.
One thing I didn't know about you before we kind of did the show, looked into you a little bit, is that you have your own clothing line and clothing brand. I'd seen you posted like logos asking people, which one's the one. But I went on the website, you guys got a lot of apparel on there. I expected a T-shirt or two, but we got shorts, we got pants, we got athletic gear. Do a little quick shout out. We got some people in here. I'm going to be going to it after. Tell us about the clothing line you do and some of the merch you guys offer.
I just picked the logo that I posted. I picked that, and then that the company that we work with, we found some good people that wanted to help, and we just made it into our own little thing. And we just tried to get stuff that everybody would want. Like some people like hats and stuff, so we put the hats on there, and then we try to get something for everybody, so everybody could be a part of it and just help out and be a part of.
Well, as we're speaking, I'm looking at the schedule. Your dad sent me it last night, man. It's stacked. You have the Made Hoops event you guys will play at. One thing I'm really excited to watch you guys play at is the AIT. Xander was talking about that a little bit. You
Yeah.
guys will play. He might have said Ashland will win. We'll hear your opinion on that one here in a second. But you guys travel to Great Crossing, which will be a great game. Scott County has kind of, revived itself a little bit, so that'll be a fun game. And Cooper has really gained a lot of respect, traction, led by Andy Johnson, a top player in the state. So talk about the strength of schedule, man. And, how many wins could we see this Lloyd team come out with? Could we be talking 25, 26 wins?
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. The goal is to go undefeated. We don't want to lose a single game.
Yeah.
But I mean, we always make our schedule hard because there's really no point to put an easy game on there because we're only preparing ourselves for districts and regions and hopefully state. So I feel like we always have a pretty tough schedule. Yeah, I feel like it does prepare us a little bit for the tournament. So I'm glad we have a hard schedule.
We've been able to talk about Lloyd, South Carolina, Midwest basketball, some of the teammates, the guys, a lot going into the season. EJ, it's going to be a fun season. You come in as one of the top-ranked players in the state. You got that SEC logo on your back, so people's out to get you. They want to, get highlight tapes on you, do some crazy things. You'll be hearing from some crowds this year probably, but, we kind of hope for that. You say it feels you into a better player. EJ, we've been on here for 31 minutes. Got to ask and assess my questions. Is there anything you want to leave off for the fans that's watching or, kind of add before we hop off here?
I don't really have anything, but just thank you.
No problem.
For everybody that supports me and that's supporting me that wants to watch this. And thank you for having me on here. It was great. So.
Of course, man. There's not a lot of athletes I'm willing to make the 3-hour drive to come watch this season. So I'll come. I'll almost go to Cincinnati to watch you guys play this season. Win it off of this last one. We asked Xander, who will be coming out on top this year? Will it be Ashland or will it be Lloyd Memorial at the AIT?
It's gonna be them Jugs for sure. The Jugs. That's what we do. What comes?
EJ, I appreciate you for hopping on, man. I wish you a great season in the future. We'll do our best to stay in touch, and I'll be coming out to Lloyd Memorial this year to watch you play, man. But thanks for hopping on, man.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
No problem. Thank you, EJ. That was EJ Walker of Lloyd Memorial, South Carolina commit, coming on to the show today to do a little interview, get into the know for the season coming up, talk about, his career so far, getting into it, starting up. It was a weird time of show for the day. We've never really hopped on here at 2 our time, 3 Eastern time. So thanks for everyone that tuned in. We had a really large crowd in. I want to shout out all the people, All Athlete Inc., Coach Walker, Brittany Walker, mother of EJ. Thanks for the family for showing so much support, reposting, sharing. Thank you to all the companies for also sharing that's in with Michael and EJ. So thank you guys so much for coming out here and tuning in and watching today. It's been the Joe Show with Joseph Decker. We'll be joined by Ferlandez Wright next Tuesday, adding some more names onto that. We'll have a show with Ty Price Monday, talking about his recruiting status, where he's looking at right now. Then the 23rd, we'll be joined by Maddox Huff. So we're putting out some shows for y'all, trying to stay consistent.